What if a single page could control the room? Tonight, Light Yagami tests the first law. But the question isn't his, it's yours. Would you bend the crowd with fear or guide them with influence? Night, the city breathes like a sleeping beast. Street lights flicker, neon signs bleed color into the fog. Light Yagami stands on the rooftop, his coat tugged by the wind. In his hand, folded paper, words that could tilt the world. He smiles, calm on the surface, but his eyes are cold, sharp, focused. Below, the city hums with rumors, voices like insects in the dark. Whispering, the 48 law book has been found. Every word drips upward through alleys like smoke. Light flips the page. His lips move as he reads. Law 1, control the room. He feels the letters pulse as if the book itself dares him. Footsteps echo, too close. He tucks the paper into his coat. His pulse is steady, almost. If they see this, everything changes. His mind races, faces flash. Who would betray? Who would kneel? He chooses a distraction, a coin. It slips from his fingers, clink, rolling, tumbling. Chaos follows. Crowds stir like disturbed birds. Heads whip, voices rise. Light moves through the confusion, a shadow among shadows. But then, eyes. A girl's eyes, locking with his. Pause. Recognition. Her lips curve into something between fear and triumph. She leans forward, her voice slicing the night. We know you. Light's chest tightens, his heart pounds like war drums. He forces a smile, too smooth, too rehearsed. He extends a hand, his silk over steel. Trust me. But her laugh, brittle, a sound like ice ready to crack. Then, siren, a scream of metal lungs. Red light floods the street. Phones rise like weapons, recording, watching, spreading. Light pivots, runs, boots striking hard against the rooftop. But a shadow blocks his path, a witness, holding a phone, the camera's red dot glowing like a predator's eye. What would you do now? Control through fear or connection through trust? Light hesitates. One path promises power, the other, survival. He breathes. The cold night air burns his lungs. Memories stab him. Applause, then silence, friends turning away. Power without loyalty had left him alone. The paper in his coat trembles like a living heart. Tick, tick. The city clock counts his choice. Moonlight sharpens his silhouette. This rooftop will remember. So will we. The night slips into a thin blue. Light stands steady. Breath fogs in the air. Phones flash below, clips already stitched into feeds. He steps forward, not to run, not to fight. You don't know me, he says. Measured voice. She smiles, sharp as glass. We know the man who holds a law. Whispers bloom, cameras tilt like curious eyes. He folds his hands, fingers press into his palm. Show us. A chant rises. He feels the pull of power, simple, sweet. A single word could bend them. The girl lifts her wrist. A band with a symbol he remembers. Flash, a lecture hall, applause that tasted like ash. A memory claws up. A phone goes live. Comments pour. They want proof. They want spectacle. He breathes. Power is a story, he says. Stories make us obey. Some laugh, some hope, some watch hungry. Then tell us your story, she says. Why follow a book? The wind tugs at his coat. The page in his pocket stirs. He speaks of empty applause, of loneliness after victory, of what power costs. Silence falls like snowfall. Cameras lower. Voices lead us. Prove it. Temptation rises, power like oxygen. Under it, another pulse, a fear of solitude. Connection as a mask. He offers a method, not tyranny, but a way to win and keep what matters. Follow me, he says quietly. Not from fear, from results. The crowd exhales. A decision hangs. A bottle pops, unexpected. Champagne sprays. Laughter breaks the tension. New tags seed themselves. Hashtag rule maker. Hashtag follow the light. A voice calls a name from his past. Calm. Light. A figure steps forward, someone he once trusted. Betrayal flickers in his memory. He lifts the paper just enough. The ink edge glints. Rules in his pocket. The weight of choice in his palm. Would you burn the book to stop the chaos, or hold it to rewrite fate? Light breathes. The rooftop waits. So do we. The rooftop is no longer quiet. Every breath feels like thunder. Light stares at the crowd, then at the figure stepping from the shadows. An old friend, now an enemy. You still chase power, Light? The voice cuts. Memory collides with the present. Study sessions, laughter, trust. Now, betrayal. Phones lift higher, streaming, millions watching. The law book is no longer secret. It is theater. Light closes his eyes for one fragile second. Thought. Control the room. Don't let the room control you. His hand brushes the paper in his pocket. It trembles like a heartbeat. He opens his eyes, cold steel in his gaze. He doesn't raise the book. He raises his voice. If you need proof, you've already surrendered. Gasps ripple. Silence swallows sound. His friend hesitates, caught between memory and fear. Light steps closer. Boots scrape concrete. Power is not a page. It is presence. He doesn't show them the law. He becomes it. The crowd exhales. Phones lower. Some nod. Some whisper. Others retreat, afraid of what belief can shape. But the girl still stares, doubt in her eyes. He offers one last choice. Follow or fade. The rooftop empties slowly, like the tide retreating. Light stands alone. The paper is safe. His reputation is stronger. Yet in his chest, emptiness gnaws. Victory, but without warmth. Power, but without touch. He whispers to himself, control the room, but never lose yourself.
So, what just happened here? Light Yagami didn't just win with fear. He tested the first law, control the room. But he learned its shadow. Power without connection is hollow. And here's the question for you. What would you choose? To bend the crowd with force, or to guide them with influence? Comment below, because your answer says more about you than you think. If this story pulled you in, you already know the rules aren't just pages in a book. They're mirrors. Next law? Even more dangerous, even more twisted. So don't blink, don't scroll. The next rooftop might belong to you. Subscribe, MindVerse.